Hey everyone, welcome back, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Free Spirit Travel More World Elite Mastercard. This is a card that is being issued by Bank of America. So I will be going over the main features of this card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this credit card, if you wouldn't mind helping out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive $60 or more in free stocks, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Webull. All you got to do is once you click on that link is open up a free account and then deposit at least 1 penny. At that point, you will be receiving the 20 stocks from Webull. Each stock will be worth at least $3, so you will once again be receiving at least $60 in free stocks. Okay, so diving right into the main features of this card, starting out, we are going to be talking about how you can earn points with this card. So you will be earning 3 points per dollar spent on eligible Spirit purchases like flights and things like that. Then you'll be earning 2 points per dollar spent on eligible dining and grocery store purchases. And then on all other transactions, you will be earning 1 point per dollar spent. Now, as far as the spend bonus goes, of course, starting out for the first year, you do have that spend bonus of 50,000 points plus a $100 companion flight voucher after you're able to make at least $1,000 in purchases within the first 90 days of having this credit card. That's right around $333 per month in spend, which for most people should be quite doable. Now, the 50,000 points are going to be worth right around $500 in airline flights from Spirit. Now, with this card, you're also going to have some other perks as well. So just for an example, you are going to be receiving an annual $100 companion flight voucher if you're able to make at least $5,000 in purchases each year. Also, there's not going to be any type of expiration date with the points that you earn as long as your account is open, so you can continue to accumulate those points. And maybe if it's not the right time to fly, you can just keep accumulating them and then fly whenever the time is right. You don't have to worry about those points expiring. And then also, you're going to be receiving Zone 2 shortcut boarding on all flights, plus a 25% rebate on all in-flight food and beverage purchases when you pay with this card. And of course, as you know, a lot of the food and beverages on the flight can be quite expensive, so having that 25% off will be quite helpful as long as you pay with this credit card. So now that we went over the main features of this card, at this point we are going to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees, because this is also super important to know about as well. So starting out, your purchase APR is going to be anywhere between 20.24 to 28.24%, of course based on your credit worthiness. As far as balance transfers go, with this card there's not much of a point in doing balance transfers, because like other cards out there on the market, they might have like a 0% introductory APR on them, where it might make sense to transfer a balance from one card over to that card and have 0% for the first, let's say, like 12 to 18 months. With this card right now, there are no special promos, and the APR is going to be just like the purchase APR of 20.24 to 28.24%. Now, as far as cash advances go, on this channel, I always recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This should not be considered financial advice, just something that I try to stay far away from, just because the APR and fees on them. But if you do happen to take out a cash advance, just know that your APR with them is going to be anywhere between 23.24 all the way up to 29.24%. So definitely a lot of interest on them. Now, in addition to that, you're also going to be faced with some fees as well. So with cash advances, there is going to be a fee of anywhere between 3 to 5% on top of that APR. Now, as far as balance transfers go, like I mentioned just a moment ago, there's not much of a point in doing a balance transfer, at least starting out with this card, unless of course later on perhaps they offer like some type of offer for a balance transfer, maybe like 0%. But if you do a balance transfer with this card, just know that the fee is going to be 3% on that balance transfer. Now, as far as late payments go, I definitely recommend to set up auto pay if you can, or maybe set up a calendar. Just set up any type of reminder for yourself just to make sure that you're not paying late. But if you do happen to pay late, there is going to be a fee of $40. Now, for the first time or two, it's very possible that you could call in and say, just for a one-time convenience, ask them if they can waive the fee. It's certainly not guaranteed, but usually for the first time or two, you can get that fee waived. But I would definitely, once again, recommend to set up auto pay just to ensure that you do not have a late payment. Now, as far as annual fees go, for the first year, with this credit card, you do not have to pay any type of annual fee. There is no annual fee for the first year. However, for the second year moving forward, there is going to be an annual fee of $79. So just because you're not going to be receiving an annual fee your first year, just remember your second year, starting on your second year and your third year and your fourth year moving forward, there is going to be an annual fee of $79. So you're going to have to sit down and figure out whether or not having this credit card is worth paying $79 every year for. So now that we went over the main features of this card as well as the APR and fees, I'm now going to go ahead and dive into what I would consider to be the biggest pros and cons with this credit card. So we're going to start out with the good things. The first good thing is the fact that you are going to be earning those 50,000 bonus points as long as you're able to spend at least $1,000 within the first 90 days of having this card. Again, that's only a spend of $333 per month, which for most people is going to be quite doable. Plus, for the first year alone, you do not have to spend the $5,000 to receive the $100 companion pass. So that's going to be another pretty good benefit of that as well. Plus, every year after the first year, you're also going to receive the $100 companion pass. However, you do have to spend at least $5,000 in order to receive it, which I am going to be going over later, why that could actually be a drawback as well. Plus, on in-flight purchases and beverages, with this card, you're going to receive 25% off. So if you're one of those people who really like to eat and drink on your flights, perhaps having this credit card can save you a lot of money because you are going to be receiving 25% off your purchase price on in-flight food and beverage purchases. So those are the biggest pros, at least in my mind, with this credit card. At this point, we're going to be talking about the bad things. So the first bad thing is the fact that you do have to spend the $5,000 every single year after the first year in order to receive the $100 companion pass. And the $100 companion pass is actually just a $100 discount off your flight. With a lot of other airlines out there, such as the Alaska Airlines credit card, the $100 companion pass is actually where you just buy your flight at any price, and then you're able to get a second flight for just like $99 plus all the extra fees on top of that. But with this credit card, the $100 companion pass simply means that you're only going to be getting $100 off your flight. So not that great of a deal. Plus, you have to keep in mind that in order to get that companion pass at $100, you have to spend $5,000. Now, keep in mind, you could actually open up another credit card, such as the Chase Sapphire Preferred credit card. And with that card, you have to spend $4,000 within the first 90 days. And if you're able to do so, you get 60,000 bonus points, which, if you redeem that for travel, will be worth $750 in travel. So alternatively, rather than spending $5,000 on this card every single year, you could perhaps open up another credit card and take advantage of their spend bonus. Like I mentioned, the Chase Sapphire Preferred credit card, you can spend the exact same amount, actually $1,000 less, and you're going to be receiving $750 as opposed to this credit card where you're only going to be receiving a $100 benefit. Plus, another drawback of this credit card is the fact that you don't have any type of luggage benefits. So usually with a lot of these other credit cards out there in the market, you'll get like your first check bag for free. With this credit card, you don't get any check bags for free. You're paying anywhere between $30 to $40 and upwards for carry-on baggage, for check baggage. You don't get any benefits with that, so that's definitely a drawback as well. Plus, on all other transactions other than ones with Spirit, other than dining, and other than groceries, you're only going to be earning 1 point per dollar spent. So for example, whenever you're getting gas or whenever you're making transactions in all other categories, you're only going to be earning 1 point per dollar spent, which really, quite frankly, isn't all that good. So just to sum things up, for the first year alone, this credit card definitely could be worth it. Just from the fact that you are going to be earning the 50,000 bonus points as long as you're able to spend at least $1,000 within the first 90 days. Plus, you're going to be receiving the $100 companion pass. So those two together is a $600 benefit, and you're also not going to be paying an annual fee for the first year. Now, as far as the second year moving forward, you're not going to be getting really any type of benefits. You have to spend the $5,000 to get the $100 discount on your flight. So the second year moving forward, you really have to sit down and figure out whether or not it's worth it. In my opinion, it's probably not going to be worth it for the second year moving forward for most people, unless of course you're very, very loyal to Spirit Airlines and perhaps you fly with Spirit Airlines quite a bit. So for the first year, it's probably worth it, but for the second year moving forward, it's probably not a credit card that I would recommend. But that's all we have for today's review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like, consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.